Hello, I am Kristen, and welcome to my channel on healing my body and mind through nutrition and exercise. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you have been following along. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow along, like, and comments. I always love to hear your comments. So today I want to talk about anxiety. Anxiety has been a big issue in my life. It has been one of the many long reasons of why I even started a carnivore diet. And truthfully, it is something that I am still struggling with. The carnivore diet has not taken my anxiety away completely. It has taken, taken. I can't even talk today. Taken, this happens often. Um, taken so many other things away, or you can call it that it's cured me, or that I'm in like a remission, or that it's helped healed these certain things, right? I'm not going to go through that list right now. You can check that out in my other videos. It has helped me a lot. Let's just say that. However, the anxiety is still there. It's not there every day. I will say that it is probably 90% better than what it was before starting carnivore. I was living with anxiety every single day. I When I say every day, I mean every day. And it was something that was just lingering in my chest, causing me to feel more stressed, triggering me to have less patience, um, being irritable. I feel like anxiety does that to you. And I hate it. I don't know who would like anxiety, right? I mean, it is something that takes over. And it's something that's hard to explain to people who have never had anxiety. And sometimes it's hard to even explain it to yourself on why you're getting this triggered anxiety all of a sudden. So, anxiety comes in different forms. For me, I want to say that it started with childhood trauma. And that trauma for me was when my grandmother passed away. And I was small, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. So it's funny how your brain works, how there are things in life that you don't even remember, right? My husband will be like, remember when we went to Disney and this happened? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't really remember that. Um, and then there are things that just stick in your brain and you can't forget, no matter how much you wish you could forget that memory. So for me, like I said, it was when my grandmother passed away. That was the first incident trauma that big in my life. And I remember it like the day is day, where I felt that anxiety. I felt the anguish and the sadness that came with her death. And I questioned a lot. And being so young and losing somebody that you love, to this day, I get emotional talking about it. It's very hard. And I think about my own children because I know that eventually they're going to have to go through life knowing what death is. And I hate that for them. And I hate it because I know that it's what triggered my anxiety. And I pray that it would never trigger their anxiety, that they will never have anxiety. Um, but it's something that I cannot control, right? It's something that is just natural in life. And it is something that we all, at one point in our lives, have either gone through or will go through. And so that was the beginning of my anxiety. And it lingered through my whole life. It didn't affect me where it was every single day that I was feeling anxiety. I lived a relatively happy life. Um, I won't go into the details of all the other things. I will just say I had more deaths that I had to go through. I had bullying and insecurities. Um, my journey, unlike a lot of other people, is that they were heavy and made fun of, and their journey was to lose weight. My journey when I was younger was to gain weight because I was underweight and it was very, very difficult for me to gain weight. So my insecurities were different than a lot of others. Um, if you were like me, I would love to hear it in the comments to know that you're not alone. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who maybe struggle with gaining weight versus losing. It wasn't until I got older that I started to gain weight and I would get the little what I call muffin top. And then I had to kind of, lose that. And then after having kids, that my body really changed. And after having my second, where losing weight became difficult for me. But anxiety. So trauma. And then where I'm at now in my life is realizing that some of those triggers are still there, where life life can just give you anxiety, everyday life, from your daily stress from work, relationships, your responsibilities, your children, your family. Um, you know, life can be stressful, and stress can trigger anxiety. And so I know that for me, it definitely triggers my anxiety. I have had a rough week where things came up with work, with my kids, and I've just been really anxious. And that anxiousness leads me to being very, very irritable and very short tempered with my kids. I will admit that I do not like that. I do not like that feeling. I do not like feeling like things just rage up inside of me because of my anxiety. And it is something that I am slowly learning to deal with and learning to, how do I say, learning to not react the way that I do when I feel irritated with things because of my anxiety. So it's something that I have to work on. And then the other thing is also life factors, right? Life factors like not enough sleep, too much caffeine, not enough exercise. So I personally do not sleep very well. I have not slept well before carnivore. I have not slept well during carnivore. I still kind of wake up at least once or twice throughout the night where at least I feel restless, and it takes me a little bit to fall back asleep. And so my sleep is not a full 8 hours of sleep. Um, I don't have that much caffeine. I probably have one little tiny espresso cup with a little bit of heavy cream. So my espresso is very little, once a day. So I really do love my coffee. And I know that a lot of people will argue with me that maybe I should cut back on the coffee, period. It is one of the very few little things that I enjoy with my diet and what I can and cannot eat. And so I've gone where I go a few days without coffee and it doesn't really, I don't notice a big difference. I would have to go maybe a longer time period to really, journal it and see if it really makes a difference. But I don't know that I want to do that. Um, and then there's exercise. I exercise 4 to 5 times a week. So for me, I don't think it's any of those things. I do think that exercising, working out really helps with my stress and my anxiety. I can notice a difference on days that I have rest days or on days that I've kind of slacked in the past because I was in between programs. And so I was lazy and didn't work out, and I can tell the difference. So exercise is super important. And then the other thing is where it leads to carnivore food triggers. I have found after starting carnivore, like I said, I'm 90% better with my anxiety. It was every single day. I mean, throughout the entire day. It wasn't like once a day or twice a day. No, it was constant. It was so constant that I kind of just learned to live with anxiety. And no one person should ever just learn how to live with anxiety. It's not a good feeling. It's very, very overwhelming and stressful. And if you are anything like me, where stress makes it even worse, it's even harder. And I just kind of learned to live with it. Like, okay, I would have a conversation with you right now and be feeling anxiety and you wouldn't even know it. There were some times when it's really bad, and my husband has seen it, where he's like, "What's wrong?" And I just, you'll hear me take that deep breath in and out. And that kind of just helps with my anxiety, my anxiousness. And it's been hard. It's been hard because Carnivore has done so many good things for me. And yet, although my anxiety is a lot better, I have still found some times where I feel anxious through the day. So I have found out that especially things like pineapple, for example, triggers my anxiety. Um, if I overeat rendered fat, it causes digestion issues and anxiety. Um, there's other things that I can't think about right now, but food heals. And although I sound like I'm contradicting myself because my anxiety has not fully healed, again, I will repeat myself. It is about 90% better. And I will take 90% over 0% any single day. So the other 10%, I think, is really me having to focus and get back to my meditation and get back to my affirmations and getting positive with my mindset. I think that a lot of anxiety has to do with your mind. Your mindset is so strong, and you don't realize how strong it is until you go through something like anxiety. So it is easy for ourselves to judge ourselves. It's easy to stress out that the house isn't clean. It's easy to stress out about the kids. It's easy to stress out about work, right? And all of those things, all of those stressors can cause anxiety. So we need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and remind ourselves that these moments will pass. It's a moment in time. It is something that is happening to you right now. Today may be a bad day. Tomorrow can be a great day. And we have to remind ourselves that it is just a moment in time. This is not something that is forever. And we can get through it. So I have to just keep reminding myself that, get through the anxiety, get through the hard, push through, and learn to cope better with the way that I feel. So I would love to hear where you are on your journey. If you suffer through anxiety, if you've never had anxiety, but maybe you feel a certain way when you're stressed. And have you found that changing your nutrition has helped? If you haven't changed your nutrition and you are suffering through anxiety, I highly, highly recommend trying and researching about the carnivore diet. I am not giving advice about it. I am not a doctor or a nutritionist. I just can only say what I've gone through in my journey and what has helped me through my journey. And I've heard a lot of testimonies on people who have no anxiety after going carnivore. So it gives me hope that maybe if I stay on this a little bit longer, or maybe even forever, I don't know where I'm going, that the anxiety will completely go away. I don't know. But this is my journey. This is where I'm at right now. This is what I'm sharing with you. And I'm blessed to just say that it's 90% better. And I'm blessed to say that even though I'm still struggling with some anxiety, I try to think of it of as if I could still feel I'm alive, I'm here, I'm breathing. I'm feeling so much better than I did 144 days ago. That's when I started my journey. And blessed to be able to come in here and share my story with you.